Hey guys, Scrublord here, and welcome to another episode of Scrub Souls. In this episode, we're going to be taking my SL1 all the way from the Crystal Sage to the Deacons of the Deep through the Cathedral of the Deep. Because this video is more geared towards SL1s, I'm really going to skip over a lot in this because it's a huge area, and I have to assume you probably already know where you're going. So I'll just hit on some of the most important stuff. Just around the corner from the first bonfire in this area, you're going to find the Paladin's Ashes guarded by an NPC. She can parry you. I think it's a she. Be careful. A fast weapon helps out a lot, but overall not that terribly difficult. And her buddy up the stairs is even easier. You really want to just sprint through this next area. I actually died going through here, got hit in the back by an arrow while a dog was mangoing me. Don't really stop too much. Just try to get through here and get to the next bonfire. If you haven't purchased the DLC, this is where it begins. That person sitting over there to the right of the altar will teleport you into the DLC. Make sure you pick up your Estus Flash shard here, and there's a drop off over to the right that takes you to a lower level, and there's some bugs and drops and stuff with some upgrades. You really should go down there, but it's not really worth doing the walkthrough on. Just make sure you go down there and get your crystal bugs and stuff. For the purpose of the walkthrough, we'll go straight to the cemetery towards the cathedral. There isn't really anything in the entire cemetery area all the way up to the Cathedral of interest other than this, the Undead Bone Shard, and you won't care about those much later either because there's only so much you can heal with one flask and you're never going to have much health. So, but since it's an early one, make sure you pick that one up. Making your way across the rooftops towards the cathedral and the first elevator shortcut is really treacherous. There are a bunch of mobs. There's all kinds of enemies that can just absolutely wreck you at SL1. The knife-wielding ladies, these little fuckers, the thralls, will come at you 2, 3, 4 at a time sometimes. Just, you know, I don't have any advice for this area other than don't die. Just keep moving and try to get to your next area. I actually spent a lot of time clearing this and basically killing everything because I hate to get backed up into something, but it's probably not necessary. Probably wasted a lot of time. Probably should have just run for it. Down a narrow set of stairs close to where you find the first elevator shortcut, you'll find an evangelist, and she's guarding a deep gem. You really want to get that deep gem. They're hard to come by, there aren't a lot of them available, and they do dark damage, but they split damage, much like a fire weapon. So they're particularly useful to an SL1 whenever you're attacking something that's weak to dark damage, like Osiris or the Dancer. After you pick up the deep gem, I'd go ahead and cheese this giant. You don't really have to, you can run through, but you would like to get the large shard that he's got. He drops one when you kill him and he won't respawn. And he's also guarding a ring on the other side of the balcony. What he's guarding is Lloyd's sword ring, and while I didn't use Lloyd's sword ring a lot before I did an SL1, since I've done SL1s, it's kind of an important ring against difficult bosses. It just gives you a damage boost when you're at full health, but you know, if you're in a situation where you really can't take much damage, you're pretty much always at full health, so it's a good ring to have. There's a mimic, cathedral knight, and one of those giant dog spiders down here, and really none of them are worth wasting your time on. They're not going to give you anything you want. I'm not even sure what the Aldrich Sapphire does, to tell you the truth. You're obviously just trying to get to this huge open area. You've got your giant and all the slugs and a few enemies around. If you haven't died, and I haven't, there should be a large Titanite shard waiting for you out in the muck. Nothing else terribly of interest here other than getting to the shortcut and pulling the levers. I also recommend cheesing this giant with a crossbow as well. There's a lot of drops in there, including the Drang armor set, which is pretty nice armor that doesn't weigh very much. Very nice for certain situations. And it's just going to make it a lot easier to get through this area. And of course, he's got a large titanite shard, and you probably only have one of them at most. Make your way behind the congregation here, and usually they won't even notice you if you stay towards the outer edge, and they certainly won't mob you. To open this shortcut at SL1, you really have to do it the right way. If you're a higher level, you can actually drop down and survive the fall and open the elevator that way, in reverse basically. But in this case, at SL1, you really have to do it the long way. So go ahead and get trapped by patches, and then we're going to have to go up a second set of rooftops to get our revenge. The second set of rooftops is perhaps even more annoying than the first. However, it's maybe a little bit less mobby and not nearly as long. But what you should remember as you're making your way back to Patches and to Rosaria's bedchamber is that you do not want to talk to Rosaria. You can't respec anyway. There you go. You can't respec anyway, and if you give her a pale tongue, you'll screw up Cirrus's quest line, and there's no way to get the Dragon Slayer axe. And I'm telling you, you really want that axe. It's a great weapon at SL1. The barbed straight sword requires 11 strength and 11 dexterity, so you can't actually use it even if you two-hand it. I'm not exactly certain how the mechanics work on that. But you will be eventually. You will be able to eventually. But it takes so long to get the hunter's ring. You don't get it until before the princes. That it seems like there's almost no point. But if you want it, and you maybe think you're going to do an SL1 NG plus, go ahead and ember up and kill him, because of course it's going to be your only chance to get this particular weapon. And I'm guessing it's not tradable, but I'm not certain about that. If you've collected up enough souls to purchase Sigward's armor, go ahead and do so. Although, if you don't have enough, don't worry about it. You'll get a chance to get it from Patches later back in the Firelink Shrine. So, we're ready for the boss. Cirrus has a summon sign there. Of course, I'm not summoning. I do take Sigward into Yorm, but I guess that's kind of a different scenario. The Deacons of the Deep are not a difficult boss. They're not a difficult boss at regular level. You would think they would be a difficult boss at SL1, and they aren't. As you're about to see, they just don't do much damage. I almost suspect that they did more damage, and it was a really, really frustrating fight, and it was possibly nerfed upon launch or before launch. I don't know why I think that. They just do such pathetically bad damage, it seems like it's not supposed to be that way. But anyway, talking about the entire level, I'm sorry I don't have more advice for this particular level for people and how to deal with particular monsters and stuff. There isn't a lot. It's a difficult level for fairly low-level characters. In this case, a level 1. But, regardless, everybody goes through it at a low level. And as easy as the boss is, the level is very, very mobby and frustrating. But, you'll get through it eventually. Just take it slow and you'll get there. Look at that. Oh, I don't know how a level 1 character survives all of that. If that were 3 thralls, I'd be dead. I've never fully understood the mechanics of this fight. I know that there's people running around doing this curse, and that curse can kill you as the fight wears on. I just took a shot of it. Is it because I'm taking too long? Can I stop that guy from healing just by hitting him once? I guess I've never paid that much attention. I mean, the boss isn't hard enough to really care about the mechanics. Eventually, for getting in there. Alright. Well, not the most fun level, and certainly not the most fun boss, but I made it through. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe, and check back to see how I'm doing. And if you're struggling, you have specific questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section. I'll try to respond.